welcome ladies and gentlemen to my Nightblade PvE build for Homestead update 13. You will find like easy to get gear setups etc. on my website alxhq.com/Azure. So go check it out. Now let's get started. There's quite a few things we need to talk about. Now first off, we're using the Thief Mundo Stone, then like always health Magicka and spell crit potions. The ingredients, like how to craft them, you'll find it on my website. Now in terms of gear, so it depends. Now if you can play melee or like on trash fights, use Grofgar, 2 pieces, 1 medium, 1 heavy, because it's still the strongest monster set. If you have to play ranged, use Valkin. Now 5 pieces Burning Spellweave. This is the best set for Magicka setups next patch, no matter what. Make sure again, like you want to have 5-1-1, so 5 light, 1 heavy, 1 medium, because of, where is it here, Undaunted. Gives you 6% more overall resources. Now we have 3 Moondancer jewelry, all spell damage. Then on our front bar we do have a sharpened Inferno staff, and on the back bar we have a lightning staff. So if you have a lightning sharpened Moondancer, you also could use a Moondancer staff if it's sharpened. Otherwise either use Maelstrom or a random. Like on my website I have other gear setups if in case you don't have Maelstrom or Moondancer setup, so go check it out there. Now I will explain in a second why we have this kind of setup. Champion points wise, 60 Elfborn, 100 Elemental Expert, 40 Thaumaturge. Now here again, very important, if you have Zorks in your group and one person runs Wall of Lightning, then make sure to put 75 points into Thaumaturge because of Exploiter passive. This increases your damage against off-balanced enemies by 10%. Because concussion, like lightning abilities can proc concussion, and when enemies are concussed, bosses also, it also works on bosses, then the wall of lightning procs off balance. Then you make 10% more damage, really nice. If you don't have it, just keep it like this. 100, 100 in Magician and 100 in Arcanist. Really simple setup. Now, actually, so passive wise, make sure to have medicinal use here, it's really important. I am a high elf, you can be a dark elf as well, both work. But I recommend being a high elf, I just like high elf more. It doesn't really matter that much, but it's just my preference. Now, in terms of skill setup, this is very important. So first off, we are using force pulls over funnel simply because it's just weird to use it, and we get slightly more DPS with force pulls. So first off, the front bar, we have Blockade of Fire here. We want to have this because burning enemies take 20% more damage from this ability. That's why we want to have a fire blockade. Also, you see, the Crushing Wall enchantment gives us 1.3k more light and heavy attacks. That is really nice. So keep this up at all times, really important. Crippling Grasp. This is a really nice dot, deals quite nice damage. Force Pulls, our main ability, as long as we don't have to reapply dots. Then we have Impale here. It's our Execute, now 28 meters range. Inner Light and Shooting Star, those two are here because they give 9% extra Magicka. Like this gives 5%, and then if you look at the passives, like this here increases your max Magicka and Magicka recovery by 2%. So 9% extra Magicka, really cool. That's also why we get so much here, like we have almost 46k. And if there's an aggressive Warhorn or something like this, you probably sit at all close to 50, something like that. Back bar, we have Merciless Resolve, so this gives us 8% more damage. Minor Berserk is the same buff as from Combat Prayer, but we will have 100% uptime on it. And the Spectral Bow, of course, which hits really hard. Twisting Puff, this got boosted so hard in Homestead patch, so it hits now really hard, so it's cool. Sap Essence, our main AoE spammable, which is really nice, deals a lot of damage and heals your group for a shit ton. Then we have Shock Ring here. We don't really use this, but I will explain in a second why we have this here. Inner Light and Soul Harvest. Now Soul Harvest, you see, while slotted, anytime you kill an enemy you gain 10% ultimate. So every time a mob dies you gain 10% ultimate. And combine that with Catalyst, you get so much ultimate on a Nightblade, it's insane. Really nice AoE damage. Now the reason why we have Shock and Fire is because here Flame Staff increases your damage done with single target abilities by 8%. Lightning Staff increases your damage done with area of effect abilities by 8%. Now what you need to see is the first text. Gain bonus effects based on your staff type while you have a destruction staff ability slotted. So that's why we have this here. Because if you don't slot something like this, like if this is not here, you don't get the 8% extra damage. That's the thing. Same here, we have Force Pulse and Wall of Fire, for example. That's the reason. Now, in terms of rotation, I just want to showcase you a Dark Atomy, so we will move on. I do recommend having Harness Magicka on the bar. If you're fighting single target, so a boss, you can, like Sap Essence, you don't need it, so you can swap it out with Harness Magicka. Or for example, like if you don't really need the 8% AoE damage, you just can like swap out the Impulse and keep Sap Essence here if you want to. It's totally up to you. Now, in terms of rotation, like this rotation is pretty simple. You want to keep up this here, Merciless Resolve, so before you engage, activate this. Then you want to use Twisting Path, swap, use Crippling, Wall of Fire, and then do Force Pulse Weaving till Twisting runs out. Swap, use Twisting again, shoot the bow, reapply it, weapon swap. Then reapply the other dots again. And we Force Pulse, swap, Twisting, Spectral Bow, reapply those. Basically it. You see, like I can do like 3 Force Pulses in between the weaves. When we use this, reapply that, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. 3 to 4 Force Pulses and you should be good. Now it's very important that when you reach 25% boss's health, what you need to remember is you need to use Impale, right? And we do not go to this bar anymore unless the boss fight is really long to only reapply Merciless Resolve. We just reapply this and then spam Impale. And if you want, like if you have to go away for some reason and come back, you can apply Crippling Grasp as well. But just usually blockade the fire and Impale and you're good to go. So that's why I say like this rotation is not really super difficult, because you just can do your weaving and you're good to go. Anyway, if you have any questions, ask me in the comment section below. Thanks for watching and have a nice evening. Cheers.